Animal facts. Have you ever seen a lizard just sitting perfectly still on a rock, soaking up the sun's rays? It might look like they're just relaxing, but they're actually engaged in a life-or-death activity. So, why do lizards bask? The answer is far more complex and fascinating than you might think. Stick around as we dive deep into the world of these amazing, solar-powered reptiles. Unlike us mammals, who generate our own body heat, lizards are ectotherms. This means they rely entirely on external sources, like the sun, to regulate their body temperature. This process is called thermoregulation, and it's not just about staying warm, it's about survival. Think of a lizard's body like a finely tuned engine. For that engine to run, it needs to reach its optimal operating temperature. Digestion is a perfect example. After a meal, a lizard must bask to raise its body temperature. This heat kickstarts the digestive enzymes, allowing them to break down food efficiently and absorb vital nutrients. Without enough heat, the food can literally rot inside their gut, leading to serious illness or even death. It's a race against time, and the sun is their starting pistol, but it's not just about food. Heat is also fuel for movement. A cold lizard is a slow lizard, making it an easy target for predators and an ineffective hunter. By basking, they charge up their muscles, getting ready to sprint, climb, or catch their next meal. For a lizard, being warm means being fast, and being fast means staying alive. Now, let's talk about the invisible magic happening during basking. The sun doesn't just provide warmth. It provides crucial ultraviolet radiation, specifically UVB rays. When these UVB rays hit a lizard's skin, they trigger a chemical reaction that synthesizes vitamin D3. This isn't just any vitamin. It's the key that unlocks calcium from their diet. Without vitamin D3, a lizard can't properly absorb and use calcium no matter how much is in their food. This leads to a devastating condition known as metabolic bone disease, or MBD. With MBD, a lizard's body, starved for calcium, starts pulling it from its own bones. The bones become soft, weak, and brittle. You might see deformities like a rubbery jaw, swollen limbs, or a kinked spine. It's an incredibly painful and often fatal condition, which highlights just how critical that daily dose of sunshine is. Lizards around the world have adapted their basking habits to their unique environments. In the harsh desert, a bearded dragon will flatten its body against a rock, maximizing its surface area to absorb the morning sun as quickly as possible. But as the midday sun becomes dangerously hot, they'll retreat to the shade or a burrow to avoid overheating. They are masters of microclimates. In a lush tropical rainforest, where the canopy blocks much of the direct sun, a green iguana will climb to the highest branches to find a patch of sunlight. They need to get above the shade to power up. And what about the ocean? The marine iguana of the Galapagos Islands has a unique challenge. After diving into the cold Pacific waters to feed on algae, their body temperature plummets. They then crawl onto the black volcanic rocks, which absorb intense heat, and bask for hours to get their temperature back up before they can dive again. It's a constant cycle of cold and heat, all dictated by the sun. But basking isn't without its risks. A lizard out in the open is a visible target. Predators like hawks, snakes, and coyotes are always on the lookout for an easy meal. So, a basking lizard is constantly on alert, ready to bolt for cover at the slightest sign of danger. The spot they choose is a careful calculation of maximum sun exposure versus minimum predator risk. There's also the danger of cooking themselves. Overheating or hypothermia can be just as deadly as being too cold. Lizards have developed fascinating behaviors to cope. Some change color, getting lighter to reflect more heat. Others will lift their feet off the hot surface, doing a little dance. Many will open their mouths in a behavior called gaping, which helps release heat, much like a dog panting. For those of us who keep these incredible animals as pets, understanding their natural basking behavior is non-negotiable. We have to become their son. Replicating these conditions is a science. First, you need a heat gradient. This means one side of the enclosure is hot and the other is cool. You create a basking spot using a dedicated heat lamp, aiming for the specific temperature your species needs. This allows your lizard to move back and forth to regulate its own temperature, just as it would in the wild. Next is the UVB light. A standard heat lamp doesn't produce UVB. You need a separate, specialized UVB bulb that provides the correct spectrum for vitamin D3 synthesis. These bulbs degrade over time, so they need to be replaced every 6 to 12 months, even if they still light up. The placement is also crucial. It needs to be a certain distance from the basking spot, with no glass or plastic in between, as these materials block UVB rays. Finally, provide the right basking furniture. Flat rocks, sturdy branches, or hammocks placed directly under the heat, and UVB lamps give your lizard the perfect platform to thermoregulate effectively. By meticulously recreating their natural environment, you're not just keeping a pet. You're allowing a fascinating piece of the wild to thrive under your care. So, the next time you see a lizard basking, you'll know it's not just sunbathing. It's a complex and vital behavior, a daily ritual that fuels their digestion, powers their movement, builds their bones, and ultimately sustains their life. They are truly children of the sun. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the world of lizards as amazing as I did, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the natural world. See you next time.